Hello, happy Saturday or Sunday if you live in the future. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I see a Nancy. Hi, Nancy. How are you? Hello, Rhonda. Hola. ¿Qué pasa? Buenos dias. Hello, Anne. Welcome. I'm not sure if we've met before. Is this your first time? Welcome to my live stream. If you are new, yay, very cool. Well, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for your presence and for joining us today. Today we're doing something that I call Soul Journey Saturdays. And I've got a good one in store for us today. Although typically, since we let our intuitions and our heart wisdom guide us, we never really know exactly what people will experience. Hello, Melanie. Oh, first time? Los Angeles. Fantastic. I used to live there. Studio City and Santa Monica. Where are you? Glad to have you both with us today. Hey, Suleiman, how are you? I know you didn't type, but I'm saying hi to you anyways. Rhonda, I might have to dip out early. I hope not, but maybe. Oh, okay. North Hollywood. I used to work in North Hollywood. Small world there, Melanie. Back before the Disney division I worked for moved to Glendale, I think. And in Oklahoma, I've never been there. Maybe someday. Although this is silly, but I'm a silly guy. In high school, I was in the play called Oklahoma. It was a musical. Not exactly the same, but Rhonda, how's my lighting look? I have a new lighting setup today. I think I'm not used to the light shining in my face, but I think it illuminates much better. Oh, Oklahoma, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. Yep, we sang that. I think I was in the chorus. Very good. Well, welcome from Oklahoma and North Hollywood to you and Melanie. Melanie's an LA woman, lived all over the valley and Hollywood. BH, I forget what BH is. For 30 years, back in the Val for the last 12 years. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I was where was I? I was Long Beach when I first moved there, Studio City for a few years, quite a number of years. Then Santa Monica for a bit, and then out in Reseda. So, oh yeah, Beverly Hills. Oh, I used to love walking around Beverly Hills, even though I didn't like any of the shops. Much too expensive. Very cool. Anyone else want to say hi? Do I see an Emma? Hi, Emma. How are you? Oh, it must be late there. Yeah, I think this lighting is much better. Hi, Emma. Good to see you, dear. How are you today? Welcome to our journey today. Hey, Margie. Good to see you. Margie says, hello, Greg and everyone. So good to have you back. Thank you. Yeah. My God, has it been a roller coaster? But today I feel different. I don't know. I know Rhonda was here yesterday. 11 p.m. in Israel. Wow. Okay. I know Rhonda was here yesterday. Rhonda, do you have any residuals from the journey and yesterday's live? I spent easily half of my evening processing my experience in the live, and I felt like it helped me like have how do I say this? So yesterday was a live that I call Free Yourself Fridays. And it's for those who are new, what I do is I do sacred energy journeys. I guide everybody into our heart space and use sacred energy and love to basically take us on a spiritual tour. And it's a different theme each time. Tonight is going to be Soul Journey, which is my name for going inside and meeting a lost fragment of our soul, which I like to say, I take a more loving, positive spin. It's shadow work, basically, but it's very loving. And because I feel in my depths of my being that there isn't anything wrong with having shadow. And when we approach it with love and allowance and embrace it, then we really get to see that really what happened to have to why we have little lost fragments, in my opinion, is because at the time, whenever we experienced whatever it was, we didn't have the capacity for it. So we tucked it away for safekeeping in our heart, in our energy, in our soul, until we were older, wiser, smarter, whatever it might be, just basically ready to meet with that part. And so that's what we do on Saturdays. But on Fridays, we do something a little more current. I call it Free Yourself Fridays. And we face something about ourselves in the moment, in our today lives, that we're not too happy with, that we either don't accept or are uncomfortable with, scared of, whatever it was. So my big one yesterday was this. Last night, the visualization took us to meet different statues that were expressions of the different parts of ourselves. And mine was this, like a two-faced statue, like it had two faces, and the one arm was reaching for into the future, but really scared of it, and the other was clinging and grasping the past. So that just helped me have a huge ego death. I just have been letting go, letting go, letting go, which has been really powerful. And the whole week for me has been this theme of leaving the past behind. And I've noticed, especially after our journey yesterday, I noticed how my mind would reach backwards for different stories, like, well, why did so and so say that, or why didn't I choose this differently, or I'm upset that I didn't, show more initiative, or I wish I'd had a better sense of purpose back then, or what. So it's like, and it's all just a waste of time and energy, really. It just makes me feel bad. But because of our journey yesterday, I kept catching myself doing it, and then I was able to say, leave the past behind. Just leave the past behind. Let me focus on the moment, and let me be excited for the future, which is something that Abraham encourages, Abraham Hicks. So yeah, it's been really, really powerful for me. Melanie says, I worked in the entertainment industry. Beverly Hills came with the job. Yes, indeed, it did. What did you think? Oh, your warrior princess is a symbol of the dragons I'm currently fighting. Oh, wow. Symbol of you mean the life challenges? Those dragons you're wrestling? Wow. Yeah. Although I love dragons, so I don't want you to fight the dragons. Don't hurt them. Ride them. Maybe riding the dragon. Yes, very cool. Wow. Yeah. Well, it was really, really potent for me. Oh, and for those of you, since you are early, you get special invitation. We started a special 30-day challenge yesterday on my live, and I'm offering it to anybody this week. So if you are interested in really raising your vibration, consistently raising your vibration and just creating miracles and whatever shift you're needing, I invite and encourage you to join us. There's many of us who are actually expressed interest in doing this. And this is a game that comes from Abraham Hicks, if you've ever heard of them, Law of Attraction, everything, blah, 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 all that. And they call it the 30-day appreciation game. Well, I'm making it a 30-day appreciation challenge because I personally would like to be able to share and have the support and support others through this. And the last time I did this years and years ago, it was profound, just really powerful. And I found the full-on reading description, which I didn't have available at the live yesterday. So this is the way that it works. If you want to participate, let us know. So it says, go to bed tonight and set forth the intention to slumber into your alignment with Source, which you always do. And then set forth the intention that when you awaken in the morning, that you'll just slide back into this physical body in an attitude of appreciation. In fact, before you sleep, go through a list of things that are very easy for you to appreciate. So you set the tone of the environment into which you will reemerge in the morning. And then when you awaken in the morning, lie in your bed and move through your mind this list of things that you are appreciating. And then go right from there to brushing your teeth and doing whatever you need to do immediately. And then go right to your chair and meditation and bring yourself again into vibrational alignment with well-being. Only this time you're not doing it because you're asleep, you're wide awake. Now, there's more to this, but let me see. The meditation part, I just, whatever people's routines are, that's great. I would say just do whatever's yours. But the main thing that I've done with this is the list when I lay my head down on the pillow at night, moving through my mind, making a list of all these things that are really easy for me to appreciate, right? And then the first thing when I wake up, before I even throw my feet onto the floor, again, moving through my mind, this list of things that are really easy for me to appreciate. And an important note about this is not a gratitude or thankfulness list. Gratitude is a lower vibration than appreciation. Not a lot lower, but just smidge. But appreciation is the same vibration as love. So you're really making a love list. So like this morning, I was really deeply appreciating my morning walk. And that was on my list when I woke up this morning. I was appreciating my bed and my pillows. And here's what Abraham says about doing this process. This process will put you in the vibrational attitude of alignment with Source. And if you will do that tomorrow and the next day, 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 before you know it, and certainly within 30 days, you will have set the tone of seeing the world through the eyes of Source in a way that you have never done before. And then you will not be asking us what it's like to be pure positive energy because you'll know it viscerally. You'll feel it in every fiber of your being. So that's our 30-day appreciation game challenge. So if you want to participate, raise your hand in chat. I will talk about it again later. If you are looking to have a place to share about how your appreciation game is going, please consider joining our Insight Timer group called Circle of Love, which is a really lovely space with lots of lovely people. So yeah, so whoever wants to join in the 30-day appreciation game challenge, I welcome you. And all you have to do is commit to do it in the day that you're in. You in for it, Melanie? You game? Melanie's giving the thumbs up. Melanie's on board. Nice. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Okay, Anne's on board. Love it. Yes. I can't wait. I mean, I can wait. I'm going to say this differently. I'm so excited and looking forward to seeing how we all feel and the way that we're thinking by the end of June. So that's really exciting. And I'm picking this day to start particularly. I've been doing it for 3 or 4 days already, and I can tell you that I already feel different. And I have a massive amount of stress and pressure going on right now, and I feel different than I did at the beginning of the week. But yeah, I picked this particular day because 36 years ago today, I started my spiritual journey in this world. And that was the very first day that I committed to making my serenity and my health and my well-being and my growth more important than anything else. And so I wanted to kick off, because I feel like I really need to do another 30-day appreciation game because I haven't done it in years. And I have a lot of transition and a lot of change going on. And B, I wanted to share it with everybody and as a way of celebrating my path. You're packing to move too, Melanie? Me too. I just downgraded all my stuff. I'm down to one suitcase and one backpack, and I shrunk from a large suitcase to a small one today. Hi, Tia. Oh, you're on board too? Okay, she says, I'm on board. How often are you going to be on lives in the next 30 days? I have a lot going on. Let's see, feel into it. I'm anticipating that I will continue to do my Wednesday lives, and then I will either be also doing the Friday or the Saturday. I think the Saturday, because they're all thematic, right? So Wednesday's all about meeting our spirit guides, and Saturday is doing a soul journey, shadow work. And Friday's about shadow work too, but yeah. Um, Next week, I will definitely be doing Wednesday and Saturday, 4 p.m. I have not booked them in the app yet, but yes. So I will try to be twice a week. Um, I wish I could do more, but I'm currently needing to move, find a place to. I need a place to stay, and I need income to eventually land where I want to land. So I've got a heck of a lot going on. Yeah, Wednesdays 4 p.m., Saturdays at 4 p.m. for sure. Um, But feel free to join our group, Circle of Love. I'm planning on inviting everybody who's participating in the challenge to share every day one thing that one thing that was on their appreciation list. So that's the scoop, my friends. Anyone new just come in, feel free to say hello. I'm about to do my official introduction. Normally the first 15, 20 minutes of my live are just talking with you guys. Hello and welcome if you're new. I think we will probably get started in just another minute or two. So you have a chance to say hello before we do that or whenever you feel like it. I have this owie in my hand. I feel like I pulled the muscle right here and I'm not really sure why. It's fascinating. Yeah, this appreciation game, my friends, is very powerful. So for those who are new to me, I'm going through grief. I am going through the end of one phase of my life and the beginning of another. The timeline on my needing to move after the elderly friend that I lived with died has accelerated, whereas I was hoping for 2 to 3 months more here. Um, that's just it's crazy seller's market and they need to move the house. And so I need to be out probably in the next 30 days and don't have a lot of options. And also, I'm buying a new laptop and looking for a job. So there's so much going on, right? It has been huge stress and pressure, and I've buckled under it a few times in the last few weeks, right? Um, but when I started, I think I started on Wednesday night to do the appreciation game after a massive panic attack I had on Tuesday, and I was feeling inside as like, I need to shift how I'm thinking about things. I need to shift my focus, and I know the appreciation game can do that. So I started Wednesday, and yeah, there's still been some rough bumps and whatnot with all the stress and pressure, but more and more, I'm really focusing on what I'm excited about and what I'm loving and what I'm appreciating. And it's not always easy some days, but like today was very, very smooth so far. So this is a really powerful game. So I'm so psyched that anybody wants to join in on it. Very excited. What are you saying, Melanie? Texture's thumb? I've had it since it was called Blackberry thumb. We are also moving due to owner selling. Oh, wow. Ouch. Yeah, I think I might just be mousing a little too intently. All right, my friends, let us get started with the journey. For anyone who's brand new to me, my name is Greg Phillips. Welcome to my live. Today we're doing Soul Journey Saturdays. I am basically a channel, spiritual guide. Rhonda dubbed me a sacred energy guide because I hold a space of love and then use sacred energy to take us all on a journey, truly an energetic journey. It may seem like a guided visualization meditation, but I do feel deeply in my heart and actually energetically that we go somewhere. At least I feel like I go somewhere. That can be very profound. You could get gobsmacked. It could just be relaxing. I don't know what result you will experience, but this is one of my favorite types of journeys, the soul journey. where we're going to go into our hearts and we're going to meet a lost part of ourselves, what I call a lost soul fragment that we tucked away for safekeeping a long, long time ago. And we're going to go inside and we're going to meet it without judgment, without story, with as much love and allowing as we can, so that we can be with it and learn from it and maybe embrace it, or even better, reintegrate it. So that's what the soul journey is today. I am so pleased and honored to have you here. And let's get started. So gently close your eyes, my friends, and just allow your breathing to be whatever depth and whatever pace is comfortable and natural for you. Bring your mind's eye to witness and observe the movement of your breath and the body parts associated with breathing. And just feel how incredibly delicious it is to breathe. It is not something you have to try or do. It is just part of what automatically happens for us. Breath, heartbeat, processing of food in our tummies, how our nerves and neurons carry and transmit energy. These are all things that do not require our thought or our intervention for them to function. But we can be mindful of them. We can bring our mind's eye and focus and attention to these happenings. Allow yourself to just continue to sink more and more deeply into your breath. Place your hands in the center of your chest, right on top of your heart chakra. Feel the warmth of the connection of your hands on your chest. As you breathe, feel into how it is sparking a light in your heart space. Perhaps a warmth, or just a calm feeling of peacefulness. The heart knows what to do to pump the blood through our body. It beats in its own unique way. And emotionally, our hearts hold many different facets. Our heart can be broken and whole at the same time as it's closed and open, empty and full, lively and tired, sad and joyful. The heart is so unique in its capacity to hold seemingly contrasting facets of life and feeling. Our minds typically latch onto one thing and run with it until it picks another thing to run with, but the heart can hold many things, many perspectives, many facets at the same time. And as you feel into the depth of your heart space, my friends, picture yourself standing in the middle of a dense fog. You can see the path below right at your feet, but maybe only a foot or two ahead of you. And otherwise, the visibility is quite poor. But your breath and the light in your heart are there guiding and supporting you, encouraging you to take a step forward and another and another. And as you feel the solidity of the path beneath your feet, you begin to play with the fog in front of you, pushing it aside as you walk, perhaps with both hands like the breaststroke, or alternating left and right and left and right. And there's no hurry, there's no rush, but you begin to feel a sense of curiosity as you part the fog that you are walking through. And suddenly you feel as though you have entered a very full space. You can't see anything past the fog, but you feel as though there is much happening around you. And that passes. And you can feel that you are entering into a space of deep stillness where everything that is outside of the fog, outside of your sight line, is very deeply present. Almost like you're temporarily walking through a woods, but you cannot see the trees. You can feel the majesty and the strength, the solidity of all the trees around you, even though you cannot see them. And then that sense departs and you continue to walk forward, moving the fog with your hands. And you begin to feel as though you are entering a very large open space, perhaps a clearing on the other side of the woods. And you can feel the vastness of it around you. And the sun begins to shine through from above, and the light and the warmth of its light begin to dissolve and dissipate the fog. And you find yourself at the base of a very large mountain, and the path heads up to the summit. And you peer in the light to see what you can see at the summit, and there's a figure standing there. It waves to you from the distance and then does that gesture beckoning you to climb. Or at least, and it's not a climb really, it's a walk. You cannot tell from this distance yet the gender of the figure or the age, but they continue to gesture you forward as you begin to step your way along the path up the side of this mountain. And the path very gently twists and turns and winds its way. There are spots that are rough to walk through. It's a very, very old path up the mountain, so some of it has fallen into disarray. Some of the stones of the path are angled or broken or missing. And so these parts of the path, you have to pick and choose your footwork, be very careful. Other parts go through particularly windy areas where the wind pushes against you almost like it is trying to keep you from ascending the mountain. But it's not so strong that you can't put a little shoulder into it and continue to move forward. Getting closer to the peak now, and you can begin to make out the characteristics of this figure on the top. Allow your intuition and imagination to determine what you're seeing. Be curious, hold the observer and the witness's mind as you look at the details of this particular figure. Perhaps they're cloudy in nature, or maybe they're made up of stardust, or maybe they're the splitting image of you. They could be the splitting image of you at younger years, or they could be a splitting image of you right now. They could be a loved one from your past or present. And just be that witness, be the observer, be curious, and pay attention to every detail. What is their hair like? What clothes are they wearing? What colors are they adorned with? Are they young? Are they old? Really study them. And as you approach closer and closer, you feel the warmth of the sun on your face. And you know that it is safe to move forward and meet this figure. Up at the peak, right next to where they're standing, there is a beautiful spot for sitting. Perhaps it's your most favorite chair or meditation cushion. Perhaps it's a bit of grassy land or a wonderfully carved tree stump. Whatever it is, it's fit perfect for you and for this figure. And as you lower yourself into this seat, it feels so incredibly comfortable. It feels just right. And once you're settled into this seating, you turn to the figure, this lost fragment of your soul, and they look at you very whimsically and curiously, and they say, "Why have you come?" And you can sit with that or respond, whatever feels right and natural. If your heart is feeling open and you're feeling willing, I encourage you to simply gaze back at them with as much love as you can hold and say, I've come to learn from you. And whatever it is that you feel called to share with this soul fragment, they really listen quite deeply. Their focus is on you and your eyes the whole time, and then they give a look of puzzlement and a slight twinge of sadness in it as they say, no one has come to visit in a very long time. I've been alone up here, just me. No one to talk to, no one to play with, no one to gaze at the sunset or marvel at the sunrise. And then with childlike playfulness, they look at you again and say, are you staying long? And you realize that this part of you was tucked away on this mountaintop for a very specific reason. And you ask the fragment, why are you here on this mountain? Why did you come here? And just listen as they respond. Perhaps they're telling the story of what happened. Perhaps they're just sharing it vibrationally or energetically with you. They could be confused and say something like, I've always been here. This is where I live. I don't know anything else. Whatever their response, take it all in. Listen to every word. Feel every feeling they're expressing without story or judgment or analysis. You feel no need to fix them or make it better. You're just being completely present. And when their words trail off, you take their hands and look them in the eye and say, what have you learned all this time? What can you teach me? And with that invitation, they're very excited to tell you everything that they've experienced and learned there on the mountaintop. They tell you about their different kinds of experiences they've had, what they've learned about who and what they are. And they've known throughout eternity to always hold hope that someday you would come to visit with them. And that day, my friends, is right now. They begin to tell you how very glad they are that you've come. And you reassure them that you will always be here for them, that they are safe here on the mountaintop and deeply loved. And you notice that the sun has passed overhead quite a lot, and it's beginning to approach dusk and sunset. And you look into your soul fragment's eyes, and now, my friends, is an opportunity to invite them with you, if you're ready for that, or an opportunity to just sit and be with them longer in this loving presence of space that you've created. Or perhaps you have more questions for them. Allow them to inform and guide you about who and what they are. And if you feel that your intuition and your truth is that you wish to bring them home with you, then simply invite them or ask them if they wish to join you. Oh, yes, I would like that very much. I've been alone for a very long time. When do we leave? And you explain that you don't really leave, but you will be together. Or in truth, this part has always been with you. It's just that today you're finally getting to meet it as who you are today, not who you were when the fragment got tucked away. And not only are you getting to meet them as who you are today, you are getting to meet them with the support and love of everyone present here today. And with that foundation and encouragement, take their hand and begin to walk back down the mountain. Hand in hand, as the sun approaches the sunset. You notice as you descend from the peak that the difficult paths have been smoothed out. The parts that needed repaving or restoning seem to have been fixed. And there are beautiful, vibrantly colored flowers growing along the side of the path that weren't there on your way up. You reach the bottom just as the sun is hitting the horizon, splashing brilliant, beautiful sunset colors across the whole sky. And you turn to your fragment, once again lovingly looking them in the eyes, and you ask them, are you ready to go home? And whatever they respond, whether it's yes, I'm ready, or no, I'd like to stay here longer, whatever they respond, allow it to be exactly what is right in this moment. If they wish to stay, if you're not ready to bring them home, reassure them that the two of you can visit anytime they want. If you are ready to bring them home with you, simply give them the most amazing hug you have ever given anyone. For in your hug, you honor their beauty, their presence as part of who you are, and you welcome them home into your heart. And as you are hugging and embracing them with all the love you can muster, you feel their body transform. Perhaps they turn into 1,000 butterflies or 1,000 stars or drops of water that fall to the land. Or perhaps they melt into your heart, truly becoming one with you. And just watch and feel this transformation occur with awe and wonder. Appreciating every moment of this transformation, as though savoring every bite of a meal. And when the lost fragment has finished transforming, slowly bring your awareness back into your own body. Begin to become aware of what parts of your body are touching the part of chair or the piece of furniture you are sitting upon, how your feet are touching the ground. And again, become aware of your breathing. Perhaps your neck needs a stretch, or your shoulders need a little wiggling and rolling. Arms stretching, hands shaking. And slowly and gently come back to the here and the now, the present moment and the room that you are in. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes and bow either mentally or physically in thanks and deep appreciation for this experience today. Welcome back. Welcome to anyone who's joined mid-journey. Thank you so much for being here. My name's Greg Phillips. I do sacred energy journeys and guide people into their heart space with love and allowing. And I sprinkle in my natural goofiness every once in a while. Oh, Anne, I'm so glad you thought it was amazing. Yay for you. What did you experience? Does anyone want to share how they're feeling, what they saw, what part of their self they met, how they interacted with them? I love to hear it. If you're not comfortable sharing, that's totally fine. But I love to celebrate and champion people's ahas and experiences. So I'm happy to support that. Hello, Thomas. Good to see you. Also, if you're not quite sure what you experienced, if you feel like you need some clarification, please feel free to ask for that clarification in chat. I will do my best using the energy and love to help find the clarification for you. Thomas says, "Hi, Greg and friends. Fragment said that they were there because they felt safe there. That makes a lot of sense. A big, strong mountain holding them up, keeping them safe. Yes." Rhonda is confused. I met my mom, who's currently in later stages of dementia. Said I was there to say goodbye. Hmm. You, she was herself, not the dementia version. Is that what you're saying, Rhonda? And what did she, yes, yes, okay. And did you say that you were there to say goodbye, or she said that she was there to say goodbye? And clarification on that. We both did. All right, let me tap into that and see. I'm getting this feeling, Rhonda. By the way, for the new people, my one of my gifts is that I can tap into people's chakras and feel the energy, basically tap into their sacred energy. Rhonda, I'm getting this this tran transition feeling. Like the very first thing that I saw was kind of like a whirlwind, like a dust devil, and and then it just completely calmed down, and like the wind and the air, the moving air, just sort of eased into stillness. That is a really good question, Ron, to ask. Was it her or was it me getting rid of something? I'm feeling a letting go, Rhonda. Does that resonate? There's a deep, profound letting go happening. Maybe you're, what's this? Maybe you're connecting with, okay, so all right, I don't know why this is coming through, but I'll just bring it. Yeah, I'm not crying either, but it was really comforting. Okay. I there's multiple things going on. So the whirlwind easing into stillness feels like an element or a facet of letting go, but not the kind of letting go where like, oh shit, right? And not that sort of resignation sort of feeling, but this releasing. And what's fascinating is that you saw her in her non-current state, which I've heard different theories about when people pass, that when they then visit with, like if you were working with a medium who was communicating with them after they're dead, they often visually present themselves in the way that they would have seen themselves rather than their death version, like the version of how they looked when they died, because of course the body changes a lot through the dying process, right? And even during dementia, facets of their expressions and things like that can really be different, like night and day different from prior to that. So I'm really sort of getting this sense that whether this is a part of you or a part of her, I'm getting a sense that there is a her pure essence has come in through something from somewhere to let you know that it's okay, that it's okay. It's okay to release her. It's okay to let her go. It's okay to struggle with this process. It's okay to be okay with this process. And I'm feeling this deep sense of trust, that she trusts this process and she wants you to trust it too. Yeah, it's really moving. And I'm not going to say it's her. I will go out on a limb, not much of a limb. It feels like going on a limb saying it's her. You could have just met her version of herself, but basically I'm feeling like it's the her that you hold in your heart and the way that you want to remember her. And there's energy to that. There's essence to that, right? There's the essence of who she was in this way in which you want to remember her. And so on some level, whether it's you or source or her, doesn't really matter, but something or someone or somewhere is letting you know that it's all okay. It's okay to struggle with these dragons, and it's okay to not struggle with these dragons. But yeah, I'm really feeling a deep release. And I love this for you since I know some of your story. Wow. Very cool. Yes, many hearts for Rhonda. Cool. Melanie, what are you saying? Okay, amazing. Visited my mom and dad to talk about an incident that hurt me, and stuck with me from childhood. Way to go, Melanie. Dad passed in the 90s, mom in January this year. I saw them both as they were at the age they were when those issues occurred. Yes. Wow. Oh, that's powerful, Melanie. Hmm. I can feel the I can feel how tumultuous some of the feelings are there for you, Melanie, but I can also feel like the tumult isn't like a choppy, rocky, chaotic tumult. It's like the waves on the ocean. There's a rhythmic tumultuousness to it. Yes. Mm. Yes, and there's a depth that if you choose to tap into that, you can really reach a sense of stillness. I'm sensing an opening possible for you where you can tap into the depth of stillness associated with this incident. This is similar to how if you were to sink below the surface of a body of water as you get lower and lower, there's a calm, right? There's a stillness there. Lovely. I love that for you. Thank you for sharing. Very cool. Thomas says my mom is in early stages of dementia. It's reassuring to hear you are where you are with this. Yeah. Yeah. My daddy went through dementia. Um, Marty's husband, Marty is the elderly woman who just died, who I've lived with for 12 years. I helped with her husband who had severe dementia. I lived with a lady with Alzheimer's, and Marty had serious short-term memory loss. It is not an easy path, my friends, to walk through with loved ones and watching this change and transformation in them. It's not easy, but it is so incredibly precious when we can be present with it, with love and with allowing. I see and have heard so many horror stories of how the dementia patient, the dementia person or the Alzheimer person, um, is very distraught or um, challenging in some way. And I think it really comes from how the people close to them, the kind of space that the people close to them hold. If they hold a space of trying to control them or clinging to how they were or wanting them to be different, I mean, my God, they're literally losing their mind, not in a bad way. They're letting their mind go because that for them is the easier, softer approach to their passing, right? Maybe they've lived, like my dad lived with so much trauma as a child. His mom died at an early age. He went and he was like 4 or 6 or something. He and his sister went into foster homes and went through that whole experience, and it was not good. He never shared about it. I know George went through very difficult times. He was adopted, always wondered about why. He got let go from his dream job after many, many years simply because he was old and cost more money than the younger kids. I mean, just trauma that they couldn't deal with. And so the easier, softer method of making their transition into death, into becoming spirit again, basically, is to lose their mind. And there's nothing wrong with that. We as a society look at that and judge it. We make stories around it. We call it a disease. Okay, sure, it's a disease. Maybe it is. I don't know. And maybe someday they'll cure it. But my God, this person has either consciously or unconsciously chosen this as their path. It's no different than us waking up in the morning and choosing to focus on whatever we want to focus on, or choosing what we're going to have for breakfast, or choosing what to put in our coffee. Maybe it's different in that for a lot of these people, it's probably an unconscious choice, but it's what their spirit and soul is choosing to make their passing. I hope that makes sense to people. It's a different way of looking at dementia and Alzheimer's. Melanie says, I used to scuba dive. I understand the analogy. Yes, about the depth. Yeah, I scuba too. It is so quiet and still the deeper you go. And your mom had dementia. See, this is so many people have been through this with their loved ones. This is, I mean, it's for a lot, it's part of the process. It just is. Yeah. Yeah, very cool. Thank you, Thomas. I think it's a way of coping unconsciously, Thomas says, after a lot of stress, etc. Absolutely. My daddy is the perfect example of this, and quite a unique experience in his dementia as well. My dad never shared a single emotion in his life. I don't think he even knew what an emotion was. He felt very, very deeply, but he couldn't share it and he couldn't express it. It was too painful and too difficult for him. And he'd also been through the army and the Navy, and so he had been, what do you call it? Well, not culturalized, programmed, not programmed, just trained. He'd been trained in that sort of disciplined mind, keep everything compartmentalized. But as his dementia set in, oh yeah, also as I was growing up, he was very critical and he was actually kind of scary. He never hurt us, but we were all three of us kids were scared of him throughout childhood. But as his dementia set in, and because we held this space of love and gave him as much independence and dignity as we could, and really just allowed him to be himself, he softened in the most beautiful way and became one of the most gracious, gentle human beings I have ever experienced. And I never expected that. Never expected that. So that for me was a precious experience because it showed that by holding that space of love and presence for him as he transitioned, he was actually able to tap into something that we'd never seen. And it was like he was gifting us with his true heart. It was really precious. Melanie says, I was relieved when she passed. I bet you were. Yeah, my mom was so vibrant. I felt she was stuck in her body that became a prison. Mm. What else did you learn, Melanie, from the journey today? I mean, it's so powerful meeting your mom and dad as they were back when those issues occurred. Really powerful. Wow. Well, we're waiting to see if anyone else wants to share anything more or newly. You are welcome to share if you wish to, my friends. I'll just do the little public service announcement. Thank you for joining us today. I'm so honored and pleased and tickled pink to have you here for today's journey. If you'd like to be notified of additional journeys, you know the drill. You can follow. Um, And if you are interested in donating, I welcome it wholeheartedly. Obviously, not required. It is very helpful for me right now as I look for work and have to find a place to stay. So if you do feel in your heart that you wish to energetically exchange some of your abundance, I welcome it. If you would like to donate through here on the live or through the app, feel free to, but I have alternative means as well. Also, if you're the kind of person that likes to connect outside of Insight Timer, I have my Linktree link in the about section of my profile. You are more than welcome to check that out. I have all my socials, especially YouTube, where I record every live that I do, except for one that I was a doofus and forgot to hit the record button months ago. But I record every live and I put them up on YouTube for replay purposes. So folks can revisit and rewatch them, go through the journey if they were late, that whole kind of thing. I also have other ways of reaching out to me. So feel free to do that. And two forms of donating, particularly if you're on an Apple device, if you're wanting to go around that. Anyways, there's the public service announcement. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for being here. Let's see what else everyone's saying. Oh, and stay tuned because I have a special invitation for everybody. There's a 30-day challenge that we're doing that I explained at the beginning, and I'll explain again, and you are more than welcome to join us. Thomas says, that's weird. My dad doesn't express, only indirectly, yet he has a pretty good memory, like compensating for my mom. My dad's dad died when my dad was 20. He's never spoken about his memories of him, even to my mom. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's ways in which I feel sad and a lot of compassion for my folks' generation. There just wasn't, they didn't have the tools that we had, and they didn't have something like Insight Timer where they could get and learn from other people and meet in community and have all of this love and support. They had to, it was pre-internet mostly for my folks. So if they didn't have a connection to something like a church or a social group that provided loving support, I mean, they come from the era of do it all yourself. Like that has to be where I learned how, this whole pattern I have about thinking I have to do everything on my own, right? That makes me completely forget that I'm eternally and consistently connected to source if I just pay attention and focus to that. It makes me forget that I have friends and family that love me, that are there to be supportive and back me up. But when I get super stressed and feel overwhelmed, I've basically thrown the bag of all my problems on my shoulder and think that I'm the one that has to carry it and I'm the one that has to do it all. And I hate when I get that way, but that's just another part of myself to learn to love and accept. But yeah, that generation, the whole had to do it yourself generation and keep it inside and don't show your feelings. Oh, I feel so sad for them and compassion. Melanie says, I've been working on not being a victim of my past trauma. Yes, very cool. A work in progress. This platform has helped me more than any therapist ever. Wow, big capital letters. That's so cool. Well, one of the reasons I love doing the journeys is because as you've heard, I try to encourage folks to go into the journey without any judgment. I mean, that's why I talk a lot about, having the witness's mind or the observer's mind or the curiosity. There's a deep allowing and a deep presence when we can engage with these uncomfortable parts of ourselves or these past experiences, right? And really meet them face to face with love and presence. And I really do believe that transforms in the moment, that transforms, well, how we're thinking about the experience, how we're feeling about what happened in the past, and even transforms what happened in the past, because energy is timeless. What we are feeling about something that happened in the past or something that we're scared of in the future, that's all just energy. There's no time. It's not real. It's just a construct that we humans made. And so when we're tapping into the emotions and the thoughts and everything, we actually, that's malleable. That's not set in stone. It's energy. It's transmuting. Well, it has the possibility to transmute. But I believe that it only transmute when we shine the light of love on it. So yay for you, Melanie, working on that. I love that for you. Thank you, Thomas, for your additional donation. I love that. That's so awesome. Thank you. honor and respect the flow of abundance and the cycle from you to me and to anyone else. All right, Rhonda. Thank you. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. So good to see you as always. Melanie's dad said Melanie says her dad was an alcoholic. That's how he coped. Yeah. My dad was an overeater and a codependent. My mom was an alcoholic and a food restrictor. So they coped with that. Yes. Thanks, Thomas. I'm not sure what I said. Sometimes I'm just channeling, and so I can't remember what I said. Hi, Nilu. Nice to meet you. Hello. Melanie also says, my mom never acknowledged her depression and anxiety. She frowned on me for needing medication. Like I was weak. My brother thinks her constant anxiety really contributed to her dementia. I would agree with that. That's the sense that I'm getting in your words as well. There's just it's I mean, if we think about it for a second in terms of the actual dynamic, the energetic mechanics of consistent long-term anxiety, right? It fries the nervous system. I'm not very scientific. I'm just talking about energetically. It fries the nervous system. It reduces our ability to cope the longer it continues, right? And eventually, yeah, leading into dementia would make sense. I've never thought about that or said that before, but yeah, the energy, the anxiety, I mean, really any negative emotion, right? That's on Abraham Hicks emotional guidance scale, anything that's below even a little bit of whiff of hope or contentment, any of those emotions persistent over a long period of time can really drain our very essence, right? And anxiety is so like the energy of anxiety is this sort of like that, like I don't know how to what word to use it, but it's there's a chaos to it, right? There's a chaos and it's sporadic and it has the and I can just imagine how our nervous system just ends up feeling, yeah, fried. So hi Natalie, welcome to you. You're coming in. Nice to see you. Thomas says Abby Devi earlier today. Oh, person's name. Okay. Did tapping and had us meet loved ones, higher selves of who hurt us as children. Wow. Demonstrating that we're doing what they could with the resources they had at the time. Absolutely. Yeah. Chaos. Yeah. Anxiety does have sort of I mean, if we were to attach a rhythm, like a musical rhythm, it's very chaotic. And it's not a grounded chaos. That's the thing. Because I used to dance the five rhythms, and one of the rhythms is chaos. And they always taught us how to dance chaos with groundedness, right? With clarity and flowing, but groundedness. But anxiety has no grounding. It's just like, I mean, that's at least how mine feels. Yeah, that resonates, Melanie. Thomas says, my mom has always been anxious. Whole family has a sensitivity, I believe. She has wine now, which makes dementia worse, but it's her way of coping too. Yeah. My theory about my younger years is that I was born spiritually sensitive and nobody in my family was prepared or knowledgeable enough. They didn't have the tools for themselves. Therefore, they didn't have the tools for me to teach me how to be with it. And I was so spiritually sensitive and a seeker from an early age, that I just didn't have any support. Like had I been born, in an Asian country like Tibet or China, I probably would have been found by monks and brought to the monastery, right? Um, instead I get to live life that I am living. Yeah. Hi, CG. Nice to see you. Welcome today. Wrong emoji? What'd you do? Oh, that's okay. We'll do a flower, a dandelion, or whatever it is. Yep. Yep. Old soul, starseed. Speaking of which, we don't have a lot of time left, and I love to do an oracle card reading. So I'm going to let you guys pick between the decks today. Oof. And then after that, I will lovingly bid you all adieu and go into the rest of my evening. All right. So we have two deck choices. What are you guys saying? Thomas says, I only learned about HSPS a few years ago. Sensitives, The Untold Story, a great documentary. Yeah, my friend read, no, this was like 15, 20 years ago. My friend identifies as a, for those who don't know, HSP, highly sensitive person. I don't identify with that label, although I may be, but I just feel that I was attuned energetically and spiritually sensitive to all that. For one, I'm a Pisces. But anyways, yeah, the HSP stuff is really helpful for so folks if you're, yeah. And one of the things I love about that, I don't know a hell of a lot about it, but when my friend told me about HSP, there was just such an allowing, right? Um there was just such a holding space for it to be okay, as I guess the best way I want to say it, which really, I mean, anything that we there's it's easy for us to look at something that and think of it as a detriment in our lives or a characteristic we don't like, and yet it could also be a superpower when we look at it from a different perspective. So yeah. CG says, same Greg, raised Southern Baptist, and no one would understand my energy sensitivity. Yeah. I mean, I always felt energy. It wasn't until the last few years that I've actually been able to do more with it, which has been really fun. Natalie wants number 2 for deck choice. Well, that's funny because I was going to hold up the Dragon Oracles as the first choice. You're a Pisces too. That's so cool, Melanie. All right, so deck number 1. If you want Dragon Oracle cards, put 1 in chat. If you want Starseed Oracle card, put 2 in chat. So Natalie, you picked 2. Starseed is another perspective of looking of or label, if you will, of energetically or spiritually sensitive people as well. I'm a dragon too, Thomas. Dragons unite. This is the year of the dragon. Happy anniversary to all of us dragons. Ah, adios. You got to go, Mark? Did we have dragon? Oh, you're right. Right. Last night we had the silver lunar dragon, which was beautiful. Yeah. So we'll just do Starseed. So we'll mix it up. Okay. No sound. Oh, restart the sorry, Mark. Restart the somebody type to Mark. Tell him to restart his app. Scorpio, Natalie. I love Scorpios. I have some, I've had some of the best friendships and romantic relationships with Scorpios. They're my favorite. Yeah, go out and come back, Mark. Thank you. My mic is in the way, so I can't like reach my keyboard very well. Go out and come back. All right, my friends. Look at this beautiful deck. Look at the backs. Beautiful cards. Beautiful cards. As my dear friend and fellow teacher Jackie Mancuso says, send your energy into this deck. Oh, Leslie, I don't do individual card pulls. I'm doing one for the whole group based on the journey that we just had. But thank you so much for asking. And thank you for understanding. Trust that the card that gets pulled will be for you. So what I would encourage you and invite you to do, Leslie, is if you have a particular question, topic, or an intention that you're wanting guidance over, to do one of two things or two of two things. Hold that intention, question, or topic in your mind and in your heart as I shuffle the cards. Also, I encourage you to come back on Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern because I do Spirit Walk Wednesdays, where we go on an energetic journey to meet our spirit guides, who are the most amazing source of guidance. So you can also come back or go to another live of somebody else who does guidance related things, and hopefully you'll get the answer there. Hey, Natalie. High energy field, much needed. Feeling incredibly fatigued. Oh, yeah. I don't feel that way today, but I will tell you that the last few weeks after my friend has died, there have been days that I've just been, the best word to describe it has been soul weary. Not just a physical fatigue, but just weary. Waning moon phase. All right. I feel like we're getting close to a card. Ah, there we go. Cutting the deck. I love this deck. It's such great energy. I don't know what she did when she made it, but the minute I touched the cards when I opened the box a couple weeks ago, just like had me all tingling. Super cool stuff. Oops. All right. Before I read the card, oh wow. Oh my God. This is a powerful message. Before before I read the card, I want to tell you guys about a 30-day challenge that we just started yesterday at yesterday's live, and I want to invite all of you to join. It's based on a game from Abraham Hicks called the appreciation game. And it is so incredibly powerful. If you are looking to shift your perspective, raise your vibration, to shift, to experience miracles and shifts that are, in your life, want to shift something in your life, or you're just really just on a very base, deep level, just wanting to feel better, period, just feel better, even just a little bit. This game is the bomb diggity. And it is very, very simple to play. And this is how you do it. Um, where do I start? It's off with. Okay. Go to bed tonight. And this is straight off out of the book, Asking is Given from Abraham Hicks. Go to bed tonight and set forth the intention to slumber into your alignment with Source, which you always do. And then set forth the intention that when you awaken in the morning, you'll just slide back into the physical body in an attitude of appreciation. In fact, before you go to sleep, so as you are getting down, laying your head on the pillow, go through a list of things that are very easy for you to appreciate so that you set the tone of the environment into which you will reemerge in the morning. And then when you awaken in the morning, lie in your bed before you even throw your feet on the floor and move through your mind this list of things that you are appreciating. And then go right from there to brushing your teeth and doing whatever you need to do in the morning routine. So, a real important point to note on this is it's appreciation or love. This isn't a gratitude list. This is not a thankfulness list. We are wanting to go for what is easy to feel joyful, appreciation, love for, right? Without story, without judgment, without expectations or analysis. Abraham goes on to say, this process, oh wait, where is it? You go through your morning routine and then um Yep. Okay. And to just be mindful as you go through your morning routine of different things that you appreciate, right? And what they say is this process will put you in a vibrational attitude of alignment with Source. And if you will do that tomorrow and the next day 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 and the next day, that literally says all that, by the way, before you know it, and certainly within 30 days, you will have set the tone of seeing the world through the eyes of Source in a way that you've never done before. And then you will not be asking us what it's like to be pure positive energy because you'll know it viscerally. You'll feel it in every fiber of your being. And I've done this a few times over the years. I haven't done it in many years, but I had a panic attack on Tuesday night this week, just absolute like slide down the wall to the floor, full on panic attack. I don't normally have these. But there just was so much going on with the grief and the stress, the grief of my friend dying and the stress and the getting the house ready for sale and my needing to move. Just the whole thing just totally fried my circuits and I was out. But the very next night I realized I'm not thinking clearly. I'm not focusing in the way I want my heart to feel. And so I started the appreciation game and I decided to invite everybody to do this. So if you are on board for doing this game, please say yes in the chat if you want to do it. We'll do it for 30 days, June 1st to June 30th. And you just have to commit every day. You don't have to commit for the 30. You just have to commit one night and one morning at a time, right? But if you're also wanting to share in community and have support around this, I encourage and invite you to join our beautiful group in Insight Timer. It is called Circle of Love. You can get to it if you go to my profile and then scroll all the way down on the home tab. It'll be at the bottom. You might have to follow me to join it, which isn't a bad thing. I'd love for you to follow me. Anyways, that's the 30-day appreciation game challenge that we're starting. If you want to feel better, if you want to shift or change your life or experience new miracles, I invite and welcome you to join us doing it. We already have like a dozen plus people. Yeah, Melanie, I agree. Soul worry is a good way to describe how the nastiness in the world makes me feel. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Okay, folks, I'm going to read the card, and this card is powerful. Weight of the world. It's the weight of the world card. Boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. And look at that woman's face floating in the water. Well, it's not her face, it's her whole body, but you only see her face. Floating in the water, letting it go. It's not yours to carry. And it looks like there's almost like a spiritual figure here. Like somebody holding their arms out and welcoming. Let's read what this is about. Weight of the world. That's a powerful card. I can feel it already. Weight of the world. Hi, Rose. You're in? Great. Rose is going to join us. Anyone joining for the 30-day challenge, I really would love to see you in the circle of love. I'm planning on asking everybody in that circle to every morning after they do their appreciation list in their mind, go into the group, and I haven't asked them yet, but this is what I'm intending to do, and share one of the things that they appreciated. And that way we can sort of get that ball rolling and get momentum and support each other with that. And I love that idea. All right, here's the reading, my friends, and then I must go for a second walk today. Weight of the world is not yours to carry. I agree, Marina. I mean, and that, you know what? When I'm stressed and overwhelmed, I am taking on the weight of the world. Yes, it's my world, my problems, my challenges, my issues, but I'm taking on that whole weight. And I agree. This is a great message. Oh, wow. Listen to how it starts. Weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It's not yours to carry. You don't need to carry it all. Very first sentence. You're no good to anyone if you're running on empty and bogged down by the weight of the world. This card is a reminder to look after your own well-being before anyone else's, to stop carrying the world's problems on your shoulders, to put on your own oxygen mask first. In these changing times, it's hard not to feel overwhelmed by the state of the planet or the state of your life. Hello, I volunteer as tribute. However, you can't take on its problems from the place of energetic depletion. This card is thanking you for caring so much. Oh, wow. Love that. This card is thanking you. This card is thanking you for caring so much. This card is thanking you for caring. Thank you for caring so much. You want to build a better world and ease the road for others, and that's incredible. But the way you've been doing so is likely unsustainable. This isn't to say you should switch off to the world's problems and become unconscious. Rather, it's a call to establish clear boundaries so you're not constantly taken out energetically. The planet needs you to be healthy, both physically and emotionally. Wow, just sink that. Let that sink in, my friends. The planet needs you to be healthy, both physically and emotionally. Fill in the blank for planet. You need you to be healthy, both physically and emotionally. Your friends need you to be healthy, both physically and emotionally. Your loved ones, your family, your life's calling, your livelihood, your home needs you to be healthy, both physically and emotionally. So instead of digesting the news or reaching for your phone as soon as you wake up, show up first to a nourishing practice such as meditation, soul inquiry, deep breathing, or exercising in nature, or the appreciation game. Show up first to a nourishing practice. Once you're in a state of grace and your inner well is full, you can face the day, which the appreciation game also helps with that, facing the day, the state of the world, and care for others. And at the day's end, take an energetic shower by emptying out anything that's not yours to carry. You can pick it up again the next morning if you so choose, but give yourself time and space to rejuvenate and rest. And the Starseed Soul Inquiry asks, what are you carrying that isn't even yours? Wow. What are you carrying that isn't even yours? My friends, that is one powerful heck of a card. Yeah, and look at how she's just floating. Look how peaceful that looks. Just allowing the water, which is life, which is source, to carry us so that we don't have to carry it all ourselves, nourishing us, taking care of ourselves. I love this card. All right, my dear. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed your journey and all the wisdom that we all shared in chat and whatnot. I will see you in the circle of love. If you're in for the 30-day appreciation challenge, I will energetically support you. But if we get to talk through our group on Insight Timer, fantastic. If not, I will see everybody again soon, either at someone else's live or next Wednesday and Saturday. I will be live again, maybe Friday. I have not scheduled those, but I promise I will do so as soon as I have a moment with this busy weekend. I am sending you much love and appreciation and joy. May the rest of your day and the rest of your night be peaceful, full of love. And I look forward to hearing everybody's experience with the appreciation game for 30 days. Yay. All right. That's it. I gotta go. Much love to everybody. Have a great evening. Thank you so much for being here. And thank you to everybody who donated. Peace. Bye.